Yo, what's up? This is Genzo, aka Genzo the Schizo, and you're listening to Uncovering the Underground with my homie Skippy Ecom. This is Spreaker Radio. Find me on YouTube, Genzo the Schizo. That's Jinzo the Schizo, Skitzo. And find me on Facebook, Jordan Genzo Malden. Whoop whoop. I love you, now love me too. I've been watching you for a long time, girly. Hello, cheeky chick, it's time. Let me bend you over and put my dick in your behind. Black candles, scented like cinnamon, to get you all in the mood. Pretty corpse grip handles, cause you're a couple more pounds. I'm hellbound, but we can burn together now when I die one day. But for now, eat the booty like pie, even though your lights out. Dig you out, pull your panties to the side, put my dick in your dead vagina and fill you on the inside. Then tie on the television, so I'm fucking your dead body with tentacles and masturbating. Thrusting and moving my hips, pumping my dick in your dead pussy lips. Yeah, it feels so good. I love you. The feel in my chest. I love you. Tingling in my dick. I love you. Got my hands on your breast. Yeah. Your vagina's so cold, but I can warm it up. Yeah, with a lighter or two, and then I put it in and we start to fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I see you, but you don't see me. I love you. Dead body. I play with your hair. 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 Nobody can love you the way that I do. I love you. Dead body. I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I see you, but you don't see me. I love you. Dead body. I play with your hair. 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 Nobody can love you the way that I do. I love you. Dead body.
It's that dead body love, and you know I'm a super freak between the sheets, busting skeets, making dead pussies leak. Oh no, the body's starting to turn. I'm ripping up her guts when I serve her with this worm. I'm a sick man, a necro fucking philiac, leaving dead bitches' jaws full of this nutsack. Amen. Please say a prayer for me. I turn into a different entity when I smoke this tree. I blaze. So now we pick a body, dig the bitch up to make sure that she's a hottie. She got that little body that makes me so hard. See, sticking my dick in every hole on her body. I'm in love with this dead broad. I'm not gonna front. The only time I see is when I spark up this blunt. So here we go. Time to light it up. So spark up this blunt so I can kill this fucking cunt.
I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I see you, but you don't see me. I love you.
Dead body.
I play with your hair. 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 Nobody can love you the way that I do. I love you.
Dead body.
I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I see you, but you don't see me. I love you.
Dead body.
I play with your hair. 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 Nobody can love you the way that I do. I love you.
Dead body love.
Sure. What up? I'm tired of these motherfuckers acting like I don't belong up in this bitch. Really? Trying to act like Lyrazone don't belong in this bitch. Trying to act like Legion don't belong in this bitch. Trying to act like Murder D don't belong in this bitch. Get the fuck out of here, motherfuckers. Sure. Gotta rid myself of this anger shit, feel I'm about to pop. Got a gang of swishes, I fill it up with my pop. But I'm on some heinous shit, basically it's a shock that I made it through all this hatred. I'm making it to the top. I'm here to shake it up, fakers, they need to stop. They've been awakened, debating if they should drop another track while they waiting. I'm on the block, I'm impatient, I'm pitching tracks like they rock. Let's go. I'm on a passage, a socket to fuckers thinking they popular. Bitch, be repping the underground, give a fuck about nothing, I don't belong. Fuck it. You're stopping nothing, confronting me like a jerk. I'm about to take his life like I just put in some work. Every day realize I don't belong. I don't belong. Like I just did something wrong. I don't belong. Here and it won't be long. I don't belong. Really aching in my jaw. When I look into the mirror, I realize I don't belong. I don't belong.
Yeah, go label me that outcast. My problems while I'm done, you can know we snapped and leave these rappers in glad bags. You internet thuggers are crazy, convinced in the fact that I won't react. Tempting my conglomerate, but lacking the attributes to scrap. Who the fuck you think that I am to simply take this shit? Thinking I'm submissive, but really the type to get lit. Guess I gotta prove to you I'm about my business by making an example of why you should have been listening. All these years, noticing the hunger's different compared to all my peers. Regardless, I'm treated badly. Seen as an average MC that could be the illest on beats, though you'll never see it, cause somehow I don't belong.
Every day I feel the pain, like I just did something wrong. Every day in my brain, I'm hearing it won't be long. Feel the struggle, feel the pain, really aching in my jaw. When I look into the mirror, I realize I don't belong. I don't belong. Like I just did something wrong. I don't belong. Hearing it won't be long. I don't belong. Really aching in my jaw. When I look into the mirror, I realize I don't belong.
I never felt like I belonged with any song that I wrote, but I stayed strong and pushed on with the hope that I get the last laugh on rap. That's no joke. Like on that last track that I smashed, I'm so dope. Oh no, people are saying that I'm underrated. My flow has been developed from all of the hatred I'm shown. But either way, I'm gonna go take it and mold it into my music and use it for elevation. I'm grown, but yet I'm feeling stepped on. Man, I'm putting out an album even though I'm slept on. Hit a murder these beats, my lyrics are in the zone. But when I'm looking in the mirror, I feel like I don't belong.
Every day I feel the pain, like I just did something wrong. Every day in my brain, I'm hearing it won't be long. Feel the struggle, feel the pain, really aching in my jaw. When I look into the mirror, I realize I don't belong. I don't belong. Like I just did something wrong. I don't belong. Hearing it won't be long. I don't belong. Really aching in my jaw. When I look into the mirror, I realize I don't belong. Every day I feel the pain, like I just did something wrong. Every day in my brain, I'm hearing it won't be long. Feel the struggle, feel the pain, really aching in my jaw. When I look into the mirror, I realize I don't belong. I don't belong. Like I just did something wrong. I don't belong. Hearing it won't be long. I don't belong. Really aching in my jaw. When I look into the mirror, I realize I don't belong. I don't belong. Realize 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 I don't belong. I don't belong.
Yeah. Laying on my bed, looking at the sky, contemplating why I'm feeling like I'd rather die. If there's any reason that I found to stay within this life, it's gotta be my daughter. Gotta never leave a fucking side. Word is born. I go to war for her and all that. This is real, this is nothing that you all rap. If you touch it, then I guarantee it's all bad. Cause I snap back, so I ain't talking about a ball cap. Fucker, y'all just suckers and I'm harboring souls. My approach is the same as Dr. Marvin Monroe. Sharp therapy and swearing we are not even close. David Carradine couldn't hang if I showed in the pros. Got a bitch that's insane, so she got my vote. Similar to these, that's the way she got on the pole. Drinking liquor like it's water and I'm out of control. The Mona Lisa wouldn't smile if she looked at my soul.
Feeling like there's no shame running through these cold veins. Can't feel my soul, I'm out of touch and feel no pain. And I've been thinking that I'm ready to die. No big deal. Can't leave, I still got plenty of life. I can't be killed. Like there's no shame running through these cold veins. Can't feel my soul, I'm out of touch and feel no pain. And I've been thinking that I'm ready to die. No big deal. Can't leave, I still got plenty of life. You'll never kill me.
but I'm feeling like I'm guilty. No rest is the best that I will be. I got demons that progress while I'm wilting. So my death will invest in it well-being. No stress, I'll impress if it kills me. Chop the screw, that's the style that I will bring. Homicidal necrophilia, so feel me, bitch. Cause I'm fucking killing the way you ever were building. After going against me, no defense, you can see what's still it. And you know it can't be understand that you perceive the jealous, but you won't offend me. No, not any rapper has a skeleton taste. I'm ripping at the flows, yes, you know that it goes on and on. Kevin Gates on stage, I kick it for the audio.
Feeling like there's no shame running through these cold veins. Can't feel my soul, I'm out of touch and feel no pain. And I've been thinking that I'm ready to die. No big deal. Can't leave, I still got plenty of life. I can't be killed.
But I'm feeling like I'm at this point. I'll either snap, go crazy, or mass destroy. This ain't a sham, so don't blame if I act annoyed. If you question what I rap and try to match the source, trying to get spins like breakers on harbor floors. It's hard when you couldn't write a check for sliding doors. You can see I get spins like a laundromat. I believe I'm sicker than a hypochondriac. Yeah, your bitch clean and I'm calling it good. Pints all on my balls cause she polishing wood. Think I could if I want, but it's misunderstood. Leave blood on the walls like recording was shook. I'm depressed to the point that I can't just chill or relax, but goddamn it, I need beef in my life cause I'm famished. Plus I came to purge like bulimous after smashing on a full stomach. But I swear the answer is I'm a bad egg like ovarian cancer. Frankenstein on a beat race creating a master. Remix beautiful people like Marilyn Manson. It's alive when I'm screaming while I'm tearing up these raps. And I'm flashing bitches like Barry Allen in the sack. And I got your bitch nude, hippie hugging my tree trunk. For you should be a little like a fucking Ewok.
Feeling like there's no shame running through these cold veins. Can't feel my soul, I'm out of touch and feel no pain. And I've been thinking that I'm ready to die. No big deal. Can't leave, I still got plenty of life. I can't be killed. Like there's no shame running through these cold veins. Can't feel my soul, I'm out of touch and feel no pain. And I've been thinking that I'm ready to die. No big deal. Can't leave, I still got plenty of life. You'll never kill me.
I refuse to be a victim. I'ma fight for survival. I know what I'm worth and I know what I write is vital. People quote my words like it came right from the Bible. The only real thing you see is the light when your eyes close. Think about that. No, really, think about that. When we get too old, they bring us round back. Throw us away and forget us. After the earth wrinkles our mask. After they recruit us, they use us. After we become useless, they shoot us and just find some new ones. We go through life thinking we're the special ones, but the special ones grow fewer and fewer. We are just players securing their future. Get the paper and hallelujah the moolah. Instead of staying true to our viewers, we forget that snakes ain't nothing new to Medusa. Gun on my side, I ain't missing. Love on my mind, hugs and kisses. Won't say goodbye with the fussing and kicking. I'll fight for my life because I'm not a victim. Gun on my side, I ain't missing. Love on my mind, hugs and kisses. Won't say goodbye with the fussing and kicking. I'll fight for my life because I'm not a victim. If I can help it, I'll avoid confrontation. If I can help you, I'll bring joy across the nation. But I'll strap on my helmet if I'm forced into danger. Threaten me and my family and get thrown towards the angels. Or the demons, bliss the darkness, whichever lore you believe in. There's so much more to believe in than a Lord when you're breathing. But of course, to afford those secrets, you must have no morals or reason. What a strange world we live in. I put spirits to lyrics. If I ever speak the truth, I'm a conspiracy theorist. But you can't put fear in the realist. I'm still here and I'm near. And when people steer clear when they feel this severely addicted. But my addiction ain't nothing compared to what you see on television. What these rappers rap about is self-inflicting. They don't help the children. They just be cooking in the hellish kitchen, whipping up garbage to feed yet another selfish vision. But I ain't participating. I'm going against it and watch. I will still be able to get known in an instant. As long as my head don't get blown in a flow with my rants. When I die, forever be known as the ghost of the limit. There's no slow on commitment. If you're showing resentment towards me, then you need to take a second look. Voodoo's in control of the business. I'm just a vocalist spitting, hoping I don't get thrown in the home where the dope are in prison. I'm too focused to giving. I'm gonna beat me to the top, whether you like it or not. Not gonna freeze and flop. I'm the cream of the crop. I always feed for my props. Not gonna be like my pops. They say I preach like a god, but I ain't preaching religion. The only thing I believe in is me and my squad. PMR with the dogs that you fear at the park. It's the part where your jaw drops and you realize that we're here, but we've been here from the start. Gun on my side, I ain't missing. Love on my mind, hugs and kisses. Won't say goodbye with the fussing and kicking. I'll fight for my life because I'm not a victim. Gun on my side, I ain't missing. Love on my mind, hugs and kisses. Won't say goodbye with the fussing and kicking. I'll fight for my life because I'm not a victim. I'm not a victim. I'm not a victim. I'll fight for my life because I'm not a victim. I'm not a victim. I'm not a victim. I'm not a victim. I'll fight for my life because I'm not a victim. I'm not a victim.
might have a drinking problem. You know. Cause I ain't got a problem drinking. You know. Man, I got a lot of problems. These drinks keeping me from overthinking. So let's just roll one up, roll a shot. Fuck it, let's get fried. Let's roll one up, roll a shot. I'm drunken out my mind. I got a drinking problem. I ain't got a problem drinking. Let's go. I got a drinking
Mind problems in my life away, fade to gray. Let the ego turn into a monster, cause I'm Tanqueray. Told my baby mama I was slowing down. But I bought the entire bar another round. Keep the party jumping till the AM. I come through slaying. Soldier check a dude like Walter Payton. Fuck this dude and his 9 friends. Call this shit a strike when I knock down 10 pins. Y'all ain't even that dope at all. I'm here for the easy women and the hard alcohol. Shit turned into an all-out brawl. Swing and pull cues like Monday Night Raw. I'm just trying to get these beers thrown back. Then maybe chase the Kraken with a little bit of jack. Roll me a blunt and eat a few snacks. What's so damn offensive about that?
I might have a drinking problem. You know. Cause I ain't got a problem drinking. You know. Man, I got a lot of problems. These drinks keeping me from overthinking. So let's just roll one up, roll a shot. Fuck it, let's get fried. Let's roll one up, roll a shot. I'm drunken out my mind. I got a drinking problem. I ain't got a problem drinking. Let's go. I got a drinking problem. Get it, let me get it back. I might take a shot of tequila and mix it with the jack. Everybody know we from that drinking generation. Get my middle fingers up, cause I know my liver hate me. I might shoot a shot glass and wash it with some gasoline. Swallow a ball of fire, ain't nobody bad as me. While I'm posted in the back, blowing on some tangerine. And my bitch is bad, her ass is jumping like a trampoline. I'm a bar hopper, baby. We call that honky talking. From the south, where we say a lot, but don't do lots of talking. Yeah, I got a lot of problems, so I got some empty bottles. The falling feels like flying till we finally hit the bottom. I might have a drinking problem. You know. Cause I ain't got a problem drinking. You know. Man, I got a lot of problems. These drinks keeping me from overthinking. So let's just roll one up, roll a shot. Fuck it, let's get fried. Let's roll one up, roll a shot. I'm drunken out my mind. I got a drinking problem. I ain't got a problem drinking. Let's go.
I make my girlfriend nervous. Babe, please, I'm hardly swerving. Listen, dog, I'm probably smoking in that styrofoam for certain. Pour a shot of Jack Daniels. Now that whiskey got me lurking. I've been swimming in this Jack. I'm about to die right in the cervix. Give me 2 jump beans. I need a Sprite for the egg. Been smoking reefers wet. My beat sounding fine. Let me hit that yak. Been drinking Say, don't you play? Who got them perks? Them 7.5s. I mean, probably 3 them 10s and get me surfing. Some peeking through the curtains. About to crash without it swerving. Y'all can hit my line be 5 p.m. before I surface. Shout out to all my drinkers. What's up to all my losers? If you need me, I'm with jelly out here therapeutic boozing.
I might have a drinking problem. You know. Cause I ain't got a problem drinking. You know. Man, I got a lot of problems. These drinks keeping me from overthinking. So let's just roll one up, roll a shot. Fuck it, let's get fried. Let's roll one up, roll a shot. I'm drunken out my mind. I got a drinking problem. I ain't got a problem drinking. Let's go. Cause I got a drinking problem.
Breaking down with the jet time mindset, chopping at the brain like a violent ghost. Bit buster, I'm bringing the muster. I feel about to aim at the common folks. A nuclear weapon that's made by I. Forming the path from the essence of time. Free for the light, live by the rights, live by the tools of my eye. Work at the dead, do it for the bitches. Count on my army ear by ear. Just like a zombie, no hint to fear. What's this in your little book? It's not, cause I'm prepping the end of days to a fucking page. Giving you a taste of Armageddon before you see the grave. Call up every god you ever knew, water you can seek to find. Once it's dark, this incantation, the world is not left behind. Swallowed by a beast,
introduction for its skills when in my specs. I present to you, Lex the Hex Master. Yo. Tonight, you've been initiated. Bow your head and take this burden. Darkness is your newest situation. Next level's murder. Welcome to my inner circle. Most will never witness. You my newest henchman. Time to grab your sword and do my bidding. And no worry about forgiveness. There's no redemption, just business. And business couldn't be better. We in the service of killing, cap peeling, and casket filling. Just think of it in these terms. You change the course of history. Every gap you sense to the earn. And in turn, I make you eternal. Immortal, never be seen. Become the shadows or a figment of these pussy niggas sick as dream. Be their terror, be their nightmare. Total crippling fear. Paralyze them with the horror. That shit that bring them to tears. So do you pledge your allegiance? Promise swear on this pistol to always kill with conviction. Leave the scene with no witnesses. Always move with the swiftness. Murder without a question. Question. And that will be your biggest blessing.
Oh my God, am I doing something illegal by doing this video, or am I protected by the First Right Amendment or the amendment? Don't take my baby. I'm at $13,000 a month. What more do you want from me?
You can catch me on the block uptown, that's where I'm coming from. Homewood rapping, east side blessing. Tatted on my arm for my two stay flexing. Thanks to my mama day, cause they made a weapon. I've been intentionally quiet. City's been certified, they like ace, let it out. So what niggas retire? I mean, you can't do it like me, sorry you tried. Just a cocky little nigga, I'm sorry, can't even lie. Whoa, look what this beat done did to me. Fanatic for fat asses, I'm winning who wants steady. To hear me, to lose a breath, Cindy like asthmatic. Still, we don't love it, that's incredibly dogmatic. Running around sound like, how does I do this shit? Fuck you niggas and your mom if you ain't with the crib. I'm close to the throne, fully on my zone with the whole damn city. Yeah, we on. Watch me how I do this. The birds gonna child, thought you knew this. I treat my life like a movie. Can't fuck with your niggas cause I flew. Watch how I put it down. Watch how this be the water around town. If you with me, then you with me. 2018, getting litty. Y'all ain't never been a slouch. Y'all seen how I get down to work, the music, the dancing. I could be Chris around the message that I'm bringing. These hits, y'all try banging. Even these hating niggas, y'all, I got them all singing. I ain't never gonna stop. Yo, this dub, this what I'm coming for. Me and my niggas gotta eat, it's fine fighting for. Thick money squad team, got whole team. Let's just watch when the shit drop, have your whole lane switch. I be on a Ross, Kendrick, and J. Cole shit. The way I be spitting, be having these bitches draws. So I'm a bull winner, no beginner, bread getter. The type of nigga that get rich, have noodles for dinner. I'ma pull up in that form, I'ma have the whole hood out. Round town with my queen, with my dreads out. Niggas steady hating, niggas steady faking, but the grind don't stop, I'm overtaking. Watch me how I do this. The birds gonna child, thought you knew this. I treat my life like a movie. Can't fuck with your niggas cause I flew. Watch how I put it down. Watch how this be the water around town. If you with me, then you with me. 2018, getting litty.
We in the zone, no telling where it's got us going.
just say so. Man, I'm living life, I don't lay low. Brought some weapons and I guess I bring a payload. Shocking out of anybody in my way, whoa. Tell the devil I'll be back to get my halo. Till then the motherfucker better stay home. All the power that I hold is finna blow the roof off. Any place I bring a mic, I might take souls. Back up, this shit is real as it gets though. Flow cold, dead nice like a headstone. Rappers popping up, I make them vanish like presto. Stop, drop and roll, I make a fire just to get smoke. Life ain't living it in luxury, nah. But I'm someone they all wanna be, yeah. Guess it's saying that I must just be the next best thing to ever come and touch the scene, whoa. Man, I'll make a wave like Poseidon. Soon enough, you gonna see me with the trident. King in my blood until the day I stop rhyming. Which will be never, cause my intelligence climbing. Look, y'all been irrelevant, better settle with bars. 16's off, flip like I'm a veteran dog. I've been better than many, stepping in the middle to spar. I feel a little me ain't literally a star.
We in the zone, no telling where it's got us going. No going home, things change, gotta seize the moment. And own it, yeah.
Shit go hard, no doubt about that. Power for the moving and we bring it right back. Like I'm just going pedal to the metal in the fast life. Hoping that you get up on the way before we crash right. Telling me that I'ma get it whenever the right time comes. But they will never be ready for that when I hype my buzz. I've been living alone and I'm feeling like I'm in the zone right now. So close to blowing up like I'm the bomb right now, whoa. Checking for the team get big. We all no doubt been on that heat wave shit. Everything we do is been a banger for your ears. Perfect melodies, we hungry so we eat that shit. Making waves at a rapid pace, I can pass the days. But talking crafty words in a crazy pattern for accolades. We have the greats and that'll be that. I'm just here to have the stage. A rap to y'all what I've written and thought over the passing days. But it's plain and in vain to the whole game knowing that my pain and my game be the same thing showing. With my name be the thing that they all speak, hoping that I say every page, leave no line left open. I'm a G.O.D., you just a D.O.G. I keep my shit low key until the beat O.D. I'm in the Z.O.N.E. until I throw in the key. Just keep on throwing the heat, they know me, cause we
in the zone. No telling where it's got us going. No going home. Things change, gotta seize the moment. And own it, yeah. We in the zone. No telling where it's got us going. No going home. Things change, gotta seize the moment. And own it, yeah.
Let's get committed. Let's get committed.
Benefit, energetic, get ready for another one of those kinetics.
Let's get Kinetics, rockin' on the road. Let's get committed.
Benefit, energetic, get ready for another one of those kinetics.
Let's get kinetic right here, right now.
It don't really matter where you at now. Turn the volume up loud, I'ma reach out.
Trigger that energetic, boom,
If you're ready for the predicate, the benefits of energetic etiquette, feelings of sweet power. You better get ready for the benefits of my energetic etiquette. Flowing through the body like a developing sediment. Is anybody ready for developing predicate that's spreading into the soul? Tap in the back of the brain, flicking the switch to the parts of your medulla, what you just don't know. It's 2017, it's time to grow. So I'ma teach the world to awaken in my flow. Here we go. Number 1, open your mind, become aware. Let the conscious scientist know what was already there. Number 2, connect direct line to God and let him know that you're ready for his energy mind. Number 3, embrace the fire that burns higher than anything you imagine in the universe. Long now connect the 3, the heart, soul, and the mind. It's time everybody be getting the kinetic. Benefit, energetic, get ready for another one of those kinetics.
Kinetics, rockin' on the road. Let's get committed.
Benefit, energetic, get ready for another one of those kinetics. And when it comes to the energy, if you don't got it, then it's not a little bit pathetic in mind. We in the fit for the benefits of the sediment. When never spit the etiquette, gather so the energetic combine. Up beside of my I'm thinking when I get lyrical anonymous, like throwing a thought down the hallway. Now open the mind and let me paint this thesis. Moving your body with a touch of telekinesis.
Jesus. Have you ever seen this? Energized bars for guards, superhuman about the Venus. The team supreme, you can find me a rap genius. Get them with the factual supernatural sphere, keeping them hit after hit, deemed to be one of the cleanest. Nobody debating, even Satan is left speechless. Number 1, open your mind, become aware, let the conscious haunt us, no one was already there. Number 2, connect direct line to God and let them know that you're ready for his energy mon. Number 3, embrace the fire that burns higher than anything you imagine in the universe long. Now connect the 3, the heart, soul, and the mind is blind. Everybody begin that connect. Benefit, energetic, get a kid. Get ready for another one of those kinetic kids.
Been a while, man. See, we all got demons, right? We all don't embrace them.
We all got our demons, but mine are the meanest. They won't let me get too close to the ones I need the most. They're angry and violent, they show uninvited. So you better run away, for my demons come to play. Hey.
Dear Lord, it's been a while since I talked to you, and this a different type of hell you got me walking through. Last time it was my soul that I had offered you, but you ain't never answered all the prayers that I was talking through. I guess you figured I was strong enough to fight the fight. That's why you kept my name surrounded in all types of hype. Beefing with some rapper cats, drama, you can have it back. You unleashed the beast into an unfamiliar habitat. Yeah, and now I'm coming for the throne. If this a war against the stars, I'm coming for the clones, taking everything I own. You see, the booth is my home, and when I'm there, you'll never take me out my zone. I am fed up, and they know that I never let up. See, they could knock me down, but they know that I'll always get up. Like, ain't nobody dropping tracks like me, or making hits back to back to back to back like me, so fuck 'em. Takes for us to get lost, for us to find a way. I used to never speak, take my thoughts, keep them locked away. Couldn't pinpoint the problem, it was hard to say. All the shit I never entertained, now bother Trey. Scumbag, loser, low life, and they resent me. But over time I saw the jealousy was envy. I realized that these people never left me, cause they were never there when my life was getting heavy. All them struggles and the hard times was hustling for our grind, and never stopped to think what I was fighting in this dark mind. I dealt with shit that most people couldn't handle, and when I spoke my mind, they say I'm flying off the handle. Deads rolling in their grave, urns flying off the mantle on some Sandman shit. Watch me reassemble, see my life ain't nothing special. It really ain't. Try dealing with the fact that everyone you love left you. We all got demons. How do you embrace yours?
We all got our demons, all got our demons. Mine are the meanest, mine are the meanest. Don't let me get too close to the ones I need the most. They're angry and violent, they show uninvited. So you better run away, for my demons come to play.
Feels like my brain is broken and I can't find the manual. My lungs are full from every J to Marlboros. Thanks to the world, I've always got my hands full. And all this bullshit I carry is fucking comical. Yeah, I'm trying not to be homicidal, but all this idiocracy, it seems to keep cycle. It's vital, right, to have all the money to hire title. Meanwhile, get kneed up by crocodiles. I'm kinda pissed off, cause all the time I've lost. At what cost to be the boss, man, I was off. I still jerk off, cause one of the crazy to be around. Profound thoughts of me fighting them on the battleground. The underground now is where I lay my head. Without this music, I'd see darker shades of red. Sometimes I dread even getting out of fucking bed, but instead I raise my chin and look ahead.
I'm hiding behind these lies inside. Slowly waiting on my own demise. Every day my demons multiply. Rock bottom's where I live my life. I'm hiding behind these lies inside. Slowly waiting on my own demise. And every day my demons multiply. Rock bottom's where I live my life.
Reality's far from the truth. Kinda insane, either win or lose. So I pass time with weed and booze. Then life resumes. Shit. My life is full of empty promises and fucked up dreams. I'm hoping things look up and the broken wings carry me. I lost my courage, lonely, not worth it. I'm living in my head with closed curtains, uncertain. And I'm sick of all these asinine games that life plays. I'm tired of being kissed and kicked to the same day. But fuck it, don't win in school, then don't play. Cause when you lose, you know your mind will never be the same. It's cool to be the player, it sucks when you get played. And all you need to blame is delay. And the reason you're insane, crazy, and caught up in the mix. Say you throw a little bit like a little wanted bitch, now you all depressed. Smoking a pack and a half a day. Yesterday it seemed like it would end, just like today. My little girl's the only light that guides my way. With half a brain, I put the blade away.
I'm hiding behind these lies inside. Slowly waiting on my own demise. And every day my demons multiply. Rock bottom's where I live my life.
I'm a lit fuse. Every single day I gotta deal with these issues. I'm a recluse, but I gotta try to play like I ain't gonna misuse this gun. Playing roulette for one. If you step into my world, you'll end up lifeless and numb. Run, 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 cause the walls are closing in on me and I can't escape the thoughts of death. I swear it's close, my time is done. The sky burns red and the air is permeated with the stench of rotten flesh. I cannot repress all the constant stress that I'm haunted with. I'm living day to day with the sorrow and the pain of the choices that I made. Will I live another day? No, I really can't say, so just stay out my way so I can make it through the day. Or I'll have to bring you with me when I blow out my brains. I am out of time. No use in fighting this, cause I have lost my mind. I'm begging for the dark abyss, and no one's by my side to try to talk me out of this.
So now it's time to die. I'm hiding behind these lies inside. Slowly waiting on my own demise. And every day my demons multiply. Rock bottom's where I live my life.
Danny, yeah. Woke up and I feel magazine on the dick is a book for real. Wishing a nigga would like Pinocchio. I hit him with the okie doke. Funny they should look. I feel half of these out here are hundreds and fake. Got shooting and shit with a gun in their face. I don't stun, I don't play. I keep running in places. I'm running your place. Bitch, who's running this place? I got a 45 in the high. I'm sure that you finna drive. I'm going you waiting to come. You chilling inside. I got the dope in the pistol. Money and missiles. To punish my opponents that made me angry. So it's sound design. If you want it, you got it. You got my attention. No in between friends when you shot when you slipping. A Glock with a clip and I'm shooting like Pippin. You throwing words at me, bitch. I can't just sit in the man-made monster. Don't nobody want you. Society has made us. Now we back to haunt you. A man-made monster. Don't nobody want you. Society has made us. Now we back to haunt you.
Hold on back a fucking wait a minute. I'm just a product of the place I'm living. I don't give a fuck about a fake religion. Give a fuck about a state of politician. I don't give a fuck about most shit. I be getting stoned going through the motions like a heroin needle that's poking into your skin. Bro, my throat is killing something every time it goes in. Who won't smoke with Max and Dean and Danny? Y'all a liquor, Molly, Coke and Lean and Zanny. Bro, the gang eternal, y'all don't understand me. Me and Drive, I've been down since feet is family. Real, recognize real. You
window, crawling through your window. I'm crawling through your window, crawling through your window. I'm crawling through your window, crawling through your window. I'm crawling through your window, crawling through your window. I'm crawling through your window, crawling through your window. I'm crawling through your window, crawling through your window. I'm crawling through your window, crawling through your window. I'm crawling through your window, crawling through your window. I'm crawling through your window as you're sleeping tight. I'm the bogeyman, come to life, the mask of bloody shape in the night. Place my hand on your mouth, the other strikes your face. I won't leave a mark, but you best believe my rage will leave a trace. Coming undone, your clothes are gone, what you gonna do now, I ask? Begging for help, your words are noise that lose their value fast. Better keep it down, I'm not the one, I don't give a fuck what your boyfriend has. Beg at my feet, you filthy bitch, and open up that ass. Right here to treasure, right at you. Leave you broken down like the feeble little insect that you are. Stop me, I beg this of you. Just to taunt you now, I let you feel me violate you with these scars. Cry me a river and take it. Like a good girl, your compliance is a must to make it far. Stop me to feel me, control me. What's the matter, doll? You didn't know that this moment was ours. Just close your eyes. Just close your eyes. Just close those eyes and believe that you're safe, my dear. Trust in my words, but beware, I am the one you fear. This pain I bring shall release all the things you hide. Play my game and obey the way of the name or die. All the doorways when you try to flee. Not a good idea, I'm death in the flesh and I feast on misery. Tie your hands to your legs and now you'll never leave. I'm loving the noise you make when you fight with me and struggle to breathe. Hit you again, the bruises rise, your beautiful skin is split. Fear in your eyes, I hold them open and fill them with my spit. Feeling my breath on your neck as I force myself to beside your dried up slit. So crying for help won't save you now and only get you hit. Break you or make you berate you. Smother out your hope and leave you empty and dying inside. No one is coming for you. Just to taunt you now, I let you loose and cut free all the ties you bind. Defiled and beaten today. Leave from trauma blessed upon your flesh until your mind is open wide. The last thing that you hear before you need the bag and get the number you're assigned. Just close those eyes and believe that you're safe, my dear. Trust in my words, but beware, I am the one you fear. This pain I bring shall release all the things you hide. Play my game and obey the way of the name or die.
Liquor porn, bitches talking. Back corner of the bar, that's a nigga's office. Hand to hands by the bathrooms, these niggas copping. Hennessy, take a sip while I'm fucking watching. Couple broads with the dick, but I ain't take the offer. Quiet vibe and now I ain't really talking. Learn with old age that silence is a chess game. Bobby Fischer, Spassky, questions by the album. Writer's block, why'd you ask me? The strains of making classics. It's hard to make one, but after one they steady asking. So now
smooth taste of brown liquor. Yeah.
I've been facing this clown.
Hey, yo, Jim, we gonna need to pour another
Time
one
was
for
hopes that never stop.
This is Jim Beats on this beat right now.
When I feel this way, my soul
Hey, yo, Jim,
is at stake. Oh,
vibing out heavy sounds of the 70s. I can relate. Or more Al Green and Kevin Gates. Got me thinking about my grandfather. Hope I reach the heaven gates. If I don't pour a drink, hell can wait. Got me thinking about my past. All the money and the beef. Pussy and a fat ass. Had a nigga losing sleep. Cheating women. Secret meets. Different women now would eat. Yeah. Lifestyle with treachery. Wasted time they'd invest in me. Take another drink. The sound of the ice makes a soothing clink. Deep thoughts bring depression, almost bring me to the brink. It's a lesson that I learned from grief. Can't express feelings, and so I feed them to the beats. Yeah, hey yo, I feed them to the beats. Hey yo, bartender, I need a lot. We just starting this one off. Yeah, I wanna welcome y'all to the Brown Liquor Classics. Well, we got Hennessy on tap. We got it all out here right now. Hey, yo, chill, we bringing the soul back. Hey, Roscoe, we bringing the soul back, fam.
my mind is
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Uncovering the Underground Radio Podcast Show. I am your host, Skippy Ickham of Brutal Business Entertainment, and tonight's special guest is SKX from Ohio. He's an underground hip-hop artist. We're very excited to be kicking it with him tonight, finding out a little bit about his past, his present, and his future, and some of the things he got going on with his career right now in the industry. So stick around for a great show there. Couple announcements. If you haven't checked out www.teambrutalbusiness.com, please check that out, www.teambrutalbusiness.com, for all updated Brutal Business Entertainment news and media. Our songs drop there first before they drop anywhere else. Tomorrow you can catch the brand new song ladders from Nine Stitch Method. So make sure you are checking that out. Great song. Can't wait to hear it. Drop for the world. Check out www.tattooedscumbag.com. That's www.tattooedscumbag.com. That is one of our main hosts for the show, and we want to thank them. Go check them out whenever you go to their site. They got all kinds of different hoodies, t-shirts, sweatpants, everything you can imagine on the apparel side, and it's really dope. If you're a tattooed scumbag like me, you'll love it. They give you discounts. Put in promo code BBE, and you'll get a discount on that. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get kicked into the show here. Give me one moment because I have technical difficulties on my side. I apologize. The internet is getting a little spotty at the moment. But there we go. Got it back up and running. Apologize for that delay, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so our guest tonight is SKX. He's a hip-hop underground artist from Ohio. So he's out of Youngstown, Ohio. He's done shows all over the Ohio and Indiana State area. He's also done shows in Pennsylvania and New York, originally starting out in his short-lived rap group, Sinisteria, and that was back in 2013. SKX has continued to strive and have his music be heard everywhere that he can put it out. So we're very excited to have him on the show tonight. If you're listening out there, please hit the share button, whether you're listening, live or you're checking us out after the fact on streaming or downloading. Hit the share button. The more you share us around, the bigger and better things that we can do. It really helps the show out. We want to keep bringing you underground artists of all different kinds and let you get to see who they are, once you kind of peel back the layer that you see on the surface. So without further ado, we're very excited to have my homie and good friend, SKX. How you doing tonight, bro?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm doing pretty good.
Glad to have you on the show, man. I'm really, really glad you could come on tonight.
Oh, man, so am I. I'm excited. I've never really been interviewed, so...
Well, there you go. Tonight is the night, so it'll be nice to kind of dig in and see who you are as an artist, as a person, and much more. Something, that I've been wanting to get you on, as well as all the other people I've recently interviewed. I target certain people. You know, I try to hit certain people up and say, hey, I want to get to see who you are as an artist, and that's why I love what I do for this station, because not only do I get to have a good time and just interview in general, but I get to dig into the brains of artists that I like and artists that I've played with, and it's kind of cool to get to know them on a professional level, but also a personal level at the same time.
Oh, for real. I could definitely dig it, man. Like, it's always good to be able to, like, connect with people, even if...
You still there? I think we might have lost SKX. Let's try to give him a call right back, ladies and gentlemen. We're sorry about that. Like I said, the internet was a little spotty. I'm not sure why. It is nice outside right now. My internet's usually very good, but there is some issues. I know that the last guy that we interviewed was having some issues on his end, which was Morbid Psychosis of my label, Brutal Business Entertainment. He was having some internet issues on his side, but it seems like this week it has flipped over to me. So let's try to give him a call right back. Get him right back on the line.
Oh.
And I believe we have him back on the air, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that little bit of a difficulty there.
Oh.
You back with us, homie?
With my phone. Not exactly too sure what happened.
Not a problem, man. It happens. Right back into it, though. So for those of you who don't know, I came across SKX at the Night of the Shrunken Heads Festival in Anderson, Indiana last year in around October 4th or 5th, I believe, which was Razakel's music festival that she threw. It was the first annual festival. What's going to be probably a multiple festival deal. You know, over the years, she'll continue to throw that as her annual festival. We met there along with a lot of other great artists like Diabolic the Monster, Don O'Rice, Hard Jaws, just a lot of great names in the crowd that night. And I know that I was standing back in my merch booth and you came out and I heard you come on and I came up and was jamming out to it and rocking out. And I hadn't heard of you at that point. But that obviously is what connected us, started following you afterwards, been talking to you ever since. And, you know, obviously created a friendship, got you out here my way to play a show, got you involved with the contest that we recently had on, and now we got you on the show. So I'm glad that we were able to connect and make a lot of different things happen. And like I said, it's great to have you on the show tonight.
Oh yeah, man, dude, for real. I actually joked around with Ghost because I'd done like a bunch of different shows with him, and it wasn't until Night of the Shrunken Heads that like I actually put two and two together. That like Ghost and East Coast Crazies, who you know I've done shows with, were Brutal Business, and you were Brutal Business, and it like all clicked at that moment. I'm like, oh, okay, I know these guys, I know Brutal Business, I know who it is, and I felt really stupid for that.
That's all right, man. Sometimes it's just a lot of cats to keep track of in the underground. I mean, you have a lot of different cliques, a lot of different labels, a lot of different artists doing their own thing. I mean, it's a lot of things to try to keep under wraps, you know who's doing what and who's involved with what, so that's completely understandable.
Oh, yeah, for real.
No, I'm glad that we were both at that show. I think it was great because I knew of most of the other artists on that show and have talked to or have worked with a lot of the artists on that show, so I always try to engage the artists that I haven't, really heard of or haven't, been involved with in the past to make that new connection. Now, unfortunately, that night, too much going on. I mean, you didn't get to connect that night, but it was shortly afterwards that we added one another and started talking. So it's funny how that all works out.
Oh, yeah. I'm always, like you said, like it's always great to be able to connect with people at shows. I'm usually like to myself like a wallflower for the beginning of the show, but the second that I have like a couple beers, I want to talk to everybody. So
you got to put your guard down a little bit, and that liquid, I don't want to say liquid courage, but the liquid courage kind of helps.
Usually able to open up to people.
What was that?
Oh, that's usually the easiest way for like me to open up is like just have a couple beers. Then I'm just like, okay, everybody's, pretty chill at this point. Nobody's thrown a bar stool or whatever.
Exactly.
So
You just got to simmer down a little bit, get to where you're comfortable, take the edge off, and you're good.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. I like to have a couple before I go on and perform. Usually when I come out of the show, I don't drink much. I don't like to come out sloshed or anything like that, but I do, have 2, maybe 3 drinks before I go on, have a nice buzz kicking, and I come on and I just kind of ride out the lyrics and then the beat, and it helps me loosen up. Now, sometimes I do play completely sober. I can do either. I don't mind either. But sometimes it's nice just to have that couple drink minimum or maximum and just come
Oh.
out and kind of be in that certain mind state.
Oh yeah, I definitely feel you because a lot of my earlier shows I did not know to not get completely hammered, and it was bad.
Well, I think, and that's a good point that you brought up, and we haven't talked about that in any of the other episodes or shows, and that's be a good way to talk about it tonight, because I just like talking about different issues. Is that is a rookie mistake for an artist, I think, and most of us have made it. And if you're listening out there and you're a rookie, maybe we can kind of save you some pain. You don't have to prove that you're a badass when you come out and go balls deep all your shows, because that's the thing, is you come out, you're young, you're like, I'm going to party, I'm going to be that guy, everybody's coming to watch me, you know what I mean? You want to be pumped about it. I'm not saying you have to be cocky, but you want to get up there and rock out, and you're like, all right, but then you're like, everybody's expecting me to be a partier and this and that, so you start slamming drinks, and next thing you know, you're shit-faced, and then you just put on a horrible performance, and no one gives a shit. Like, you actually completely did the opposite of what you should have done. So if you're listening out there, it's okay to have a drink or two. It's okay to party to a certain extent, but don't feel like you got to go balls deep on it, because all I can tell you is 99% of the time it's going to result in failure in a sloppy show. And it's hard. People remember the sloppy shows much longer and better than they remember your great ones. Remember that.
Oh yeah. I actually had the worst one, and like I had did a show in Columbus, and it was for some homies, and they'd brought Raz out. It was for their release party, and just, I wasn't watching my drinks, I wasn't handling myself proper, and so I got up. The first 2 songs came on, and I completely bombed them, forgot all the lyrics, and they're just like, okay, you know what, take a 5, go sober up a bit, and then come back on. So I did that, and it went off all right enough after that point. But the thing that my friend Adam won't let me forget about it is that my chubby ass decided to remove my shirt, start doing it all shirtless. And so he comes up to take a picture, stream it or something. And I grabbed his phone, shoved it down my pants, and I'm just like, no. And so don't do that. Don't be SKX. Don't be drunk SKX.
Yeah, don't do that, folks. It's not a good look.
No.
No, but hey, we all been there, man. I mean, like I said, I've definitely been there myself, and just went in deep, thinking I'm a hard ass when I was younger, slamming beer after beer, and then go up on stage and it hits you, and you're like, oh no. And then you have all these eyes on you, and then you're like, I'm about to fucking ruin myself. And you start to slur your words. You're trying to remember where you are in the verse and stumbling on. And it's been a very long time since that's happened. Knock on wood. I have no plans for that to happen again. But you're talking 6-7 years ago. Just being dumb with it, and you reach a point, if you take it seriously enough, that the professionalism comes in, and you're like, you know what, I can't be doing things like that anymore.
Oh yeah, you get a wake up call, and
definitely.
So.
Do. So I think we lost you there again for a quick second.
Oh no, I'm good.
It's funny, someone left a comment on the stream over here, and it did say that there is a bad storm out right now, so that could possibly be what is going on. It could be a lightning storm that's happening right now.
Oh, awesome.
It's usually how it goes. I've had 4 storms during 4 different shows of mine. It's kind of weird. I don't know why. A couple snowstorms and a couple real bad rainstorms so far.
I think I've been mostly lucky where every show that I've done hasn't gotten too bad of rain or snow or anything like that.
Well, I was speaking specifically of the radio shows, but yes, shows I've played as well have been pretty treacherous on some of them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry about that.
No, you're okay, man. I played a show in the mountains, and it was the night before the show. And I get a message from an unknown number saying, hey, I was given your number, wondering if you'd be interested in playing this show tomorrow. We had a touring act that was coming through that we sold tickets for, and now last moment they dropped off the show. And we're scrambling to try to figure out how we can still salvage this show. and we were told that you have a pretty big draw, you can do quite well. Would you want to take it on, the night before to try to just fill in that gap and give a good performance? And I said, where is it? And they told me it was 3.5 hours away, and I'm like, fuck. I literally was just getting ready to lay down and go to sleep for the night for work or early in the morning. And I took the show, and I drove 3.5 hours completely by myself after work, so I worked all day. Drove straight from work 3.5 hours. I get to the show in the mountains, and it is just fucking just pouring snow. I know that's not really a good terminology, pouring snow, but it's just falling down heavy. I went in, came back out after the show, and we probably snowed about a foot in the time I was there. No, I'm 3.5 hours from home, so I drove that night the whole way back by myself. I ended up making it home. But the whole drive back, I seen roughly about 100 deer that night along the side of the road. And I had to keep just being very vigilant of where I was at, what was around me, because there was snow everywhere. You couldn't see anything. It was fucking brutal. So yeah, I've been, for the most part, been pretty good on getting a lot of shows without an issue. But there's been a few that I remember throughout the years that have been pretty brutal with snow. Another one was with my death metal band from years back. While we played, the bar was sold out. It was packed. When everybody left at the end, it had snowed while we were there, and it was so bad that no one could get out of the parking lot or get home. So people were like stranded at this bar at like 2 a.m. And people slowly were trying to get back, and we had to wait till plows came and plowed the roads out, and then people started leaving. It was nuts.
Oh God, yeah, that I don't know if I could handle all that. Like, I just did something back in November. I did a show in Indiana, so it was like a 5-hour drive there. Got to the venue, everything was fine. Like, no snow the entire way up. But like when the show ended at midnight, I had to come back, and that's when all the snow started coming down. The people that were with me were passed out in the seat, passed out. I'm trying not to fall asleep. It's scary, man.
Yeah, it definitely is, man. I mean, when it's bad like that, like even with my circumstance, it was just me. You know what I mean? So whenever I left the show that night, it had been 2 a.m. I had already been up for work since 6. It's now 2 a.m. I worked all day, drove 3.5 hours there by myself, performed and hung out all night, and then performed a headlining set. It was like an hour set. It was awesome. It was a great show. And then finished, tore my stuff all down, put it in my car, and then drove 3.5 hours back.
Oh man, yeah,
by myself. It was fucking brutal. But you know what? Ultimately, it was worth it because I made several friendships and connections that night as well that have been, it's kind of stood the test of time so far. It's been a couple of years and still friends, still connected with the people I met that night. It led to other shows and led to other connections through those people. So it's all kind of a spiderweb effect. I mean, you meet one person at a show that ends up introducing you to someone else, that introduces you to someone else, and it really builds up your plethora and network that you have as an artist. And that's why I always say one of the most important things that an artist can do is network.
Oh, for sure. That's actually the only reason that I am where I am. Back when they had Strictly for the Wicked, I think it was, I don't even remember which year it was. I think it was 2014.
Sounds about right.
I met Name Withheld, and like his set was great, and I'm like looking over at his merch booth, and I noticed that he had a mixtape that he did with like a bunch of people, and it said Youngstown Tune Up, and I'm like, oh shit, you're from Youngstown, same here. And from there we just like started talking. That's actually where he was the first person that I met in the area that did shows. So I connected with him. He led me to my good friend Wicked, who got me to start doing music with my buddy for Sinisteria, and the rest is history.
That's how it works, though, man. And kind of funny that you mentioned Name Withheld. Shout out to Name Withheld. He will be our guest on our very next episode, which will be May 16th, two Thursdays from now. Ironically enough, he is the next guest we have on the show. A Small World.
Oh, shit. I didn't even know he was going to be doing this. That's fucking great.
Yep, he's actually the next guest we have. And then After that, we did have some changing of scheduling. It was originally going to be Jade the Nightmare, but due to some other things that she has going on, I told her she was still going to do it. She's a trooper. But she's got some other engagements that I told her she should focus on, and then we'll do it a couple weeks later. So we're going to get back with her in June. And then we do got, looking over the schedule real quick, we'll share with you guys. We do have, after I fill in next slot, the following show after that will be June 13th. That one is going to be with Nasty Inc. in Indiana State. And then we do have the following week, which would be June 20th, will be when we're putting Jay the Nightmare on the show. And then the following week will be my man Donna Rice. So we got some really great shows coming up. You know, Name Withheld, Donna Rice, Jay the Nightmare, Nasty Inc. Just a lot of really good underground talent. So if you don't know those names, search them, check them out. Support your local artists, support the local underground. It really means more than you know. It's the bread and butter of what keeps us going every day, the fuel and the fire that helps keep us writing and performing and traveling. So when you wonder why an artist might drive 3.5 hours by themselves and then 3.5 hours through a foot of snow, it's because the energy and love that you give us when we play is what we live off of and breathe off of. So thank you for anybody that does support underground music.
Oh, for sure, man. Like, I love...
Why don't we jump into how you became you? What started your music endeavors? What age were you whenever you said, I want to start making music? Were you young? Were you a little bit older? Kind of tell us the background of how you started out in the music side of things.
Oh, fuck. I mean, like, when I first wanted to make music, I think I was in, like, 7th grade. Because I started, like, actually getting into music. And I was, like, just hardcore obsessed with that band, Gorillaz. And so, like, I was just like, oh, I want to be in a band. And then I started getting into metal, and I'm like, I want to be in a metal band. And I tried making that magic happen until, like, my junior year of high school. And I'm just like, man, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to be in a band, whatever. And, like, in that entire time, I hated rap. Like, everything that I knew about rap was just what was on the radio. And I'm just like, man, I can't stand it. And a friend of mine introduced me to the SKR of that around that time. So I started listening, and I'm like, okay, this is different. And from that point, I just started writing. And so that was probably like 2011. About 2013, me and a friend of mine moved into a house together, and I just brought up as a joke one day, like, hey, we should start a rap group. Like, we'll just do horrorcore or whatever. And he was down for it. He was the one who actually came up with the name of Sinisteria, which he was just like, you know what, I don't know what to call it, but Sinister Hysteria, there, Sinisteria. And okay. So we did, well, the first song that I sent you, Murder You, was actually the first song that we'd ever done as a group, as Sinisteria, and I think the only song that we ever did that I actually released.
Okay, wow.
But it went over so well. Like, now whenever I do that song live, I'll still rap his verse just because he wasn't huge on horrorcore, so he backed out. But yeah, and then as for like where SKX came from, I originally wanted to start rapping under a name Heretic, spelled with a K because edgelord or whatever. And I saw that somebody else, like somebody with like maybe like 100 views on a video, was using it. And I'm like, oh, well, this guy's already got a name. I can't be stealing that. And I used to play a game on Xbox called Condemned. And one of the antagonists of the game is called Serial Killer X. I'm like, well, you know what? It's dope. Fuck it, I'm just gonna take the name. And as time went on, like, so many people just knew me as SKX instead of Serial Killer X. So I said, fuck it, it's SKX now.
It's funny because certain groups, certain bands, certain artists have the abbreviation end up becoming more popular than the name itself. In other situations, the name is what everybody calls them. They don't go by the initials, even though the initials might be used from time to time. People don't refer to the band or artist as the initials. It's kind of funny how that plays out.
Oh, yeah. But I'm really happy that it went with SKX instead, because
There's a ring to it.
well, that and my good homie Des Luca actually dropped an album called Serial Killer X, and like we didn't know each other at all. Like we're on two different sides of the country, and a friend of mine saw that he, made an album called Serial Killer X, and so I hit him up. I'm just like, "Yo, so you dig the game too?" And that's how we became friends. We actually did a track a couple years back called Killers of X.
Okay. I know a little bit about Dez. I've only ever talked to him briefly on the internet, and we had just someone had suggested, ironically enough, probably about 10 different times now, people have left comments saying you two need to do a track together. And there was one track or one post that someone had put on. I said, maybe that's something we'll have to talk about sometime. And he answered back with a response, and we kind of shared a couple posts back and forth to one another, but really didn't talk to one another. But no, got mad love for the dude. I checked out his music. It's definitely dope. And there's probably a good chance at some point coming up down the road that we'll have him on the show as well.
Oh, I could dig it. But yeah, I definitely agree. A track with Ickham and Ickis would be dope as fuck.
I think so. I think it would be pretty good, pretty dark. I have to unlock my inner horrorcore again, because I've never really been just strictly horrorcore. That's my thing. It's always been something a little bit different. I do horrorcore elements, but it's mainly a lot of hardcore hip-hop mixed with darker, wicked style rap kind of embedded into that. I've never been just straight horrorcore like some of the other cats that I run with or that I perform with. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I just always kind of had more of that hardcore sound. So sometimes it works out really good whenever I work with someone that is full horrorcore like that, because it adds a diversity to the track. Excuse me.
Oh yeah, that's always having like different genres of hip hop working together. Just it adds a different layer to everything.
It certainly does. Now, it can go wrong. By all means, it absolutely can. But if you do it right and you produce it right, you polish the product and release it the right way, most of the time you're going to have a pretty cool, unique sounding track.
Oh, for sure.
Now, what do you got coming up to as far as the fans listening out there? So they kind of found out how you became who you are, how you got the name. Where can they see you coming up?
Right now, it's a little iffy, but I should be doing a show on the 17th in Youngstown, Ohio, at Off the Rails. I'm still in touch with the promoter. We're trying to hash out some of the details. They're putting together a music showcase just for the area. So long as everything goes good with that, I'll be doing that show. I also will be attending, but I should be performing at Nasty Bash 4.
I talked to Nasty about that. He had offered me a slot, and I really wish I could have made it out for that. That's a dope ass lineup, but unfortunately, I have a couple other shows and a couple other things going on, so we weren't able to come out for that trip. So definitely, if you can, I would try to make that trek out there if you can.
Oh, for sure. You've got like a ton of dope people. And the reason I say I'm going to be performing is one of the artists wants to do, King Torch. He is one of the artists that's on the bill. And we recently did a cypher to the Childish Gambino song Bonfire.
Okay.
And so that day we're going to be shooting the video in New Haven. And then at the concert, we're going to be doing the cypher live, I think probably for the only time, because I can't imagine all of us being able to get together and do this a whole bunch. So this might be the only time that we ever actually do it live.
Yeah, it's something to think about. I mean, if you get an opportunity to play something you always wanted to play and you might never get it again, it's always good to have that memory.
Oh, yeah. And then I also have a show in South Bend. So a week after Nasty Bash, I'm going back to Indiana to do a show with ABK, Native World, my homie Breezy, my homie in Effigy. We've got a dope lineup going on that. Jay Villain will be there. So a bunch of Indiana people plus ABK and Native World.
Okay. Sounds like you got a lot of good shit coming up, though.
Oh, I'm excited for it.
Oh, you have to be, man. It's all, like I said, all opportunities, all great ways of networking, and just having a good overall time. I love shows. I've been playing shows for many, many years, and you know what? I still love every one of them just the same.
Oh yeah, no, I'm right there with you on it. Like, I mean, one of the things that a lot of people hate about the underground, specifically like artists, and I'm not a fan of it either, is pay to play. That is one of the banes of my existence. But I do it because I love performing. I know I got people out wherever I'm going that want to see or hear me. So I'll take that hit if like I feel that the show's worth it, or if I know the promoter and I'm not going to like drive 7 hours to get a 10-minute spot at the beginning of a show.
No, I can understand that. Absolutely. I mean, the other thing is you got a lot of, I can't talk tonight. Ticket shows that you have to kind of pay for too, where you either sell X amount of tickets or you pay X amount of money down, or you just buy onto the show. There's a lot of shows that are like, oh well, you want to open up for so and so headliner. There's no ticket sales. There's just a $250 buy on.
Yeah, see, those ones actually piss me off. Like if it's a ticket sale thing, I'm not always
that
a huge
at least
fan.
gives you the opportunity to try to sell tickets to make your money back, even though it still kind of fucks you, because if they're saying you sell $800 worth of tickets or you make up the difference, well, you hope that it sells, but then if you don't, you're obligated to get yourself fucked. So you have to be very careful with that. I'm not even really a big fan of those, but I respect at least more the ones that are just like, you know what, no ticket sales, no opportunity to make any money back, but for $250 we'll let you open up for this group that doesn't give a shit that you're opening up for them.
It's a bullshit business. Like it's there. Like no matter what, you're kind of screwed, unfortunately. But I'll continue doing it just because I love doing music. I love being able to get
You
up
got
on
to take the
stage.
good with the bad as anything in life. I mean, you're not going to have silver linings the entire time. If you do, then what would be the point? You have to have the struggle to be able to have the triumph. So we all go through that bullshit sometimes. Where I can't say that I've ever just straight paid to play. I have definitely taken on ticket shows where if I didn't sell the quote, I had to pay then. Absolutely. Or other ones where it's straight ticket shows, like sell as many tickets as you can. You don't have to pay anything. You make X amount of dollars per tickets, which is nice because that's just straight profit. Those are the ones obviously I prefer, or just straight being paid. But those are uncommon, and that's what a lot of people don't understand is like how they think that every time an artist plays that they just got paid a chunk of money to come play. Most of the time we're playing for free.
Oh yeah.
And we're happy about that. We're like, well, we ain't got to pay to play. We're just playing for free. Okay. And it's fucked up because used to be you performed and you made a good chunk of money doing your art, but there's so many people doing all kinds of different things these days that it's not few and far between. So there's not enough money to go around on that. So if you want to perform, we can get you on a show, but you're probably playing for free. And maybe every now and then get a few bucks thrown to you. And that's just how it is. I mean, that's the world we live in. If you were one of 50 rappers in an entire statewide area that people knew about, then you can make money. But when you're one of 5,000 rappers in the state area, then what's the purpose? If you want paid, well, I'll tell you what, I'll sacrifice you and I'll get 3 artists that don't care if they get paid.
Exactly.
And that's fucked up, but that's exactly the way that it works.
No, you're exactly right. But you're right. We got to take the good with the bad, and yeah.
Absolutely. And while I'm talking about that, I asked a lot of the artists that have been on my shows, what's the worst show memory that you have, or the one moment or one mistake that you've made in the music industry since you started that you just really wish you could take back?
Oh shit.
I like putting people on the spot on that one because I think we've all experienced that. We've all made some type of grave error where like, well, I fucked up there. You don't have to tell us one if it's too personal, but just something that relates to, being the worst show that you've had or worst moment in music or the worst mistake that you've
Yeah, you know what? The one that comes back to mind is a show that was supposed to happen that didn't happen. And I'm not going to drop the guy's name because we're still cool. I just don't do business with the dude. So back in like January, I had a friend hit me up and ask me to do a show. And unfortunately, I had to bail on him for a show previously. So I was just like, yeah, of course, I'll do it, you know. So he sends me a flyer for it, tells me the date and the place where it's at. And I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. That's dope. I can do that. And a couple weeks go by. And, well, the show was in March, and he'd messaged me in January. A couple weeks go by, it's still January, and he sends me a new flyer with a different date. And I'm like, okay, well, now I've got to go back into work, request days off, and hope that, you know, they aren't too pissed about that. And it's whatever. And so I let my cousin know because he lives in Newcastle. His fiance and him love coming to shows, and they've got a friend in Columbus who also likes to hear my music. So, like, when I sent them the date, it was actually, like, really close to my cousin's birthday. So he's just like, you know what, this is going to be my birthday event, whatever, this is going to be dope. And so their friend from Columbus is supposed to come up to Newcastle. They go from Newcastle to Youngstown to pick me up, and then we're going to drive an hour and a half away, like closer to Columbus, to do this show. And a few days beforehand, my cousin messages me, and he's just like, oh, hey, when does the show start? Like, there's no time on the flyer as to, like, when the doors open or any of that, and I can't find the event page.
Oh, that's never a good thing.
Yeah. So I'm just like, oh, no, it's cool. I'll just, I'm pretty sure I'm still on the event page. I'll see what's up. And I couldn't find it, so I messaged the guy that's running it. And as soon as I message him, he's just like, oh, I don't have a show that day. You're going to have to talk to this person because that's who's going to be running the show. And I thought it was a little fishy because, like, the name of the show was, like, his name and then festival. I'm just like, okay, whatever.
I have nothing to do with that show.
I mean, it's just your name on it, but whatever. Okay. So I messaged the other guy, and he's just like, oh, I don't have a show this day. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to deal with this bullshit. So I just called the venue. And the owner that I talked to was like the dad of it all. And he's like, I have no idea what's going on. I'll have my oldest son get back to you. And like not even a half hour later, the oldest son messages me on Facebook, and he's just like, yeah, well, apparently he canceled for like the third time with us. And do you mean to tell me he didn't tell you anything? I'm like, no, it's like 2 days before the show, and I'm just now finding out that the show's not happening now.
Yeah, it's a frustrating thing. I mean, it's being someone who's played, quite a bit of shows over the years, there's been different moments like that where day before, 2 days before, and in some cases day of, you're finding out that a show's not happening. You're packing the ride. You're getting ready to make the journey. You're mentally prepared for what's at hand and what's to come. And then you get a phone call, and it's like, yes, unfortunately, due to unforeseen things, the show is canceled tonight. And you were getting ready to make a long trip, and you're like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing more of a slap in the dick than that. But once again, you roll with the punches, and you take the good for the bad.
Oh, yeah.
So,
it's frustrating, but, I mean, what can you do? Like I said,
you can't do much. That's the thing.
Exactly, and like I said, like I'm still cool with the dude. I mean, like it happens. It's just it makes me realize that like you're probably going to do this again. Like if the show gets canceled and not tell anybody, so I'm just gonna stay away from it.
You have to have a blacklist, my man. I mean, as someone who's had a lot of experiences like that, you have to have a blacklist that you put people on that they don't come off that list. It doesn't mean that you can't talk to them and be civil with them. It doesn't mean that you can't be friendly, but you have to have an artist list that's blacklisted. And I have quite a large one just because of, different bookings I've done over the years of artists just not showing up, like where I book them on a show, no phone call, no nothing, just the time comes for the show, they're not there. And I don't take kindly to that. If I book you on a show, I'm promoting your name, I'm promoting the fact that you're going to be there, and fans come out and want to see you, and then you don't show up on a show, and you don't have a really good goddamn reason why you're not there, then you're going to get blacklisted.
Oh yeah, and that's one thing that I personally have been trying to get better at is, like, if I book onto a show, I will exhaust like every option that I have to make sure that show goes off without a hitch. Because I don't have steady transportation, so it gets a little difficult. So I'll hit up friends, ask favors of family members, and then if I can't do it, I try and at least give the promoter like a week in advance, like, hey, something came up, and unfortunately I'm not able to make it.
I'm usually understanding about a situation like that, or if something like that were to happen, still pissed, definitely, because if I've been promoting for like 2 months and then you fall off, it kind of dicks the show, but it's something that's understandable as long as it's not a habitual thing where if I book you 3 times in a row and 3 times in a row you dick me. You know what I mean? So I look at that, but it usually a week is a good amount of time for notice. It's people that are calling me the day of, like 2 hours before the show. They're like, yeah, I'm not gonna be coming later.
Oh yeah, and
then you're like, I don't even have time to replace you on the show, and now I'm fucked.
And that's another thing that I'll at least try is, like, if I can't make it and I've got homies in the area, I'll be like, hey, hit up this person. Like, I'm sure that they'd be willing to come out and do it. Like, if it is a pay to play and I've already paid and I can't make it, it's like, hey, this person can probably come out and do it. Like, since the spot's already paid for, just like throw them on. Like,
exactly. I mean, try to do your best to fill it. If you can't do it, that's definitely respectable. So. But you made it to my show all right. You did very well there. I know there's some people digging it, and I mean, you made some fans that night, so I was really happy to get you down our way.
Oh, there were some great people that night, like a lot of great performers, and I wish I would have at least stuck around to see the last 2 and your second set. But
that's all right, man. I think actually that night I ended up not doing a second set, if I remember correctly. I think we just finished it out. I just did the one, so if you've seen the one, you've seen it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I forget who else played. I don't know. After me, if it was Ghost or how I set it up that night. Too many shows.
Oh, I understand completely.
We'll definitely have to get you out that way again sometime here soon.
I'm always down to do shows.
Absolutely. Well, listen, why don't we jump into a song for you? We can go over the song that you talked about just a little while ago, Murder You. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this song real quick as an interlude into the song, and we'll go to a commercial break and listen to it.
Oh, yeah. It was just kind of a, balls to the wall horrorcore track, just going through a bad part of my life, when I was younger, just always angry, stupid shit was pissing me off. And so I did that. And the homie, Kiloton, the other member of Sinisteria, he was going through another dark time in his life. And that's why he doesn't really like rapping that verse, just because brings back too many memories.
Okay. I can dig it. Well, hey, why don't we listen to it and see what the fans think of it? If you're listening out there, don't be afraid to go ahead and jump on the Spreaker Podcast Radio app or the website. There is a chat system on there where you can IM us during the show. We do interact with that, and we love our fans to be a part of the show. We ask questions throughout the show that you can leave your opinion or your answer on, and also ask for reviews on songs. So if you're listening out there, let us know what you think of the song. We're going to go ahead and go to a commercial break on Uncovering the Underground. And you were about to listen to SKX, and this is Murder You, right here on Uncovering the Underground. We'll be right back.
Hey, homie, look at that. My whole life flashed before my eyes, man.
Nah. You think you got me cornered, bitch, you better hold me back. I'm coming for you like a train, I'm fucking off my track, I attack. My fist in your face, my knee in your chest, you're bleeding a lot. My hand on your throat, I scream, bitch, is that all you got? I push, you fall, I step, you crawl away from me. What can you see? I stand above you, blood is dripping from my open hand. How much more of this will it take before you fucking understand? You're a joke. You live like a bitch, now die like a bitch, I'ma make you choke. You're nothing to me, I'm starting to see that I ain't broke, I'm alive. Now all you motherfuckers, you it started today, it's ending today. I make you live in constant fear of me. You see, let your motherfuckers burn away till all you see is me. Let your hopes and dreams and fears erode for everyone to see. The truth that comes out blasting from this booth, this town that your motherfuckers find no stopping me. I murder you. I gave you everything you need, every little piece of me. Sold my soul and now we're through. I just don't know what to do. You just walked away from this. Wish your ignorance were bliss. Took my heart and ran it through. With nothing left, I murder you.
I'm gonna murder you in a way that is oh so graphic. Gonna cause some major havoc. Panic, throw your corpse into traffic. Bust through your door and shove your baby in that fucking oven. Rip out the organs and feast upon that fucking stomach. Cut you up with my precision. You see I have this vision to leave your body twitching after I slice your face into ribbons. As the smoke from your burning house fills up my lungs, I hear the voices speak to me in unholy tongues. You left me dead alone in a bowl of blood and dirt. Man, I've got no motherfucking heart, but damn it motherfucking hurt to see you walk away from everything that I gave to you. Put a 45 at your head and watch that bullet go right through. I split your dome in two with a motherfucking baseball bat. I love the sound it made when your skull went fucking crack. Man, I'm gonna die, but I've never felt so alive. Before they catch me, I plan on ending my fucking life.
I gave you everything you need, every little piece of me. Sold my soul and now we're through. I just don't know what to do. You just walked away from this. Wish your ignorance were bliss. Took my heart and ran it through. With nothing left, I murder you.
All right, guys, we're back on Uncovering the Underground. I'm your host, Skippy Ickham of Brutal Business Entertainment, and we have SKX, underground hip-hop artist from Ohio, and that was his song, Murder You, and definitely we're happy to be able to air that on the show tonight. If you are listening out there and you are on our Spreaker podcast radio app or on the website, leave us a comment on the chat system. Let us know what you thought of that song. Share the show around, share his music around, and give his pages a like. He would really appreciate it, and so would I. So absolutely, man. I'm grateful that you let us have that song on the show tonight and be able to air that. And you said that was the first song you'd ever made?
That was definitely the first one I've ever recorded.
I mean, that's what I meant to say. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good. I did do another song, like the first one I ever wrote, but that one, I just didn't feel like it was hype enough, or not good enough, but something that I'd want to.
It doesn't strike the right nerve that you were going for.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, fans, if you're listening out there, go to SoundCloud.com and you can check out my man's music at Serial Killer X. That is Serial Killer X _218. It looks like, and then you have Reverb Nation at ReverbNation.com. Serial Killer X. And Facebook.com at Facebook.com/BurnInHellSKX. Make sure you check out those links and give him a like, give him a share, and get familiar with his music if you're not already, and pick up some merch from the man. He would appreciate it. Well, that's great, man. It was great to, like I said, get to play that on there, and I look forward to playing another one here coming up shortly. We have another one by the name of Say My Name, which I think most of you guys will be happy to hear. So why don't you tell us, we talked about the worst moment that you had, or one of the worst shows that you've been involved with. Why don't you tell us what's the best one that you've been involved with? What's been the one show that you've been like, hell yeah, that was the moment that has so far defined what you've been pushing for as an artist to this point?
You know what? I would say I did a show a couple years ago, and it was originally supposed to be like a release show for an album that unfortunately couldn't drop, and just some issues. But I had there was a venue around here. It was a hookah bar called the King Hookah, and I knew the owners pretty well. And I'm just like, hey, would you let me throw a show here? And they said that it was fine. So I booked a lot of my friends, a lot of my homies that do music. I had people come out from New York. One of them, this was like the first stop of his tour. And I had booked a metal band. Like, I went to high school with a lot of the members, and they actually, not too long ago, got signed to the same label as, what's the name of that band? You know what? I can't exactly remember it, but they just got signed to a fairly big label, so good for them. And we had brought them out to the hookah, and just like from the moment like the show actually started, it just got packed. It stayed consistently full throughout the whole night. I was sick as hell, so I wasn't really feeling great, and the band actually went on right before I did because they had some previous engagements that they had to take care of. So the show ended up running late, but like just having booked that show and to see all the people that came out to it, and like it was just a great time for everybody. So that and probably doing a show with King Gordy. Those are probably my two best moments.
Okay, I can dig it. Now, King Gordy's someone that you personally are a big fan of?
Oh yeah, he was someone that got me into a little bit more of the horrorcore outside of like SKR LSP, and like it. I remember the first time I heard him because it was the first song I ever heard from him was that song Killa that he did like back. And I'm just like, okay, I'll check out this guy. And then like I just heard him like saying all this like racist shit. And I'm just like, whoa, hold the fuck up. And I'm not into that, so that's why I was just like, I don't know if I want to hear this guy. But like I realized that was just his like him going into the shock rap. I'm just like, well, shit. I mean, he did shock rap better than most people.
Yeah, King Gordy's definitely a shock rap guy.
Oh yeah.
You know, he calls himself the king of horrorcore, and he is horrorcore to an extent. I mean, there's no hate against the man whatsoever, but it definitely is high elements of just shock rap. Which, I mean, like I said, there's nothing wrong with that, but I always felt like being more substance than just shock rap. I mean, anybody can say some pretty vile fucking things, and he does it in a very good way. So he at least mastered that craft. But I think there's almost a difference between just straight shock rap and horrorcore. But then at the end of the day, who's to say? Because there's a million different types of horrorcore, honestly.
You know, I could agree with that, though, to an extent. It's a very fine line for some people. Like, what is horrorcore to some people, or what is, like, you've got, like, people like Ghetto Boys who, you know, they did a lot of gangster rap and shit, but they also did horrorcore, and a lot of people, you know, consider them one of the, like, first horrorcore groups just because they did it well. Or you've got people that, you know, don't really consider, like, in my opinion, I don't really consider ICP horrorcore, even though, like, they are. It's just, I think it's just because of how goofy it is that I don't consider it horrorcore. But they're...
Yeah, I mean, you definitely got different tiers and different levels to the horrorcore, because, I mean, you got stuff like King Gordy to ICP and Twisted to, you know, to Twisted Insane to Brother Lynch Hung. And
oh, yeah.
All of those sounds are very different. I mean, I've always been one that prided myself, you know, on being more of a serious lyricist and horrorcore cat as far as the elements of horrorcore that I made, more of a Brother Lynch Hung style. Like, there's nothing wrong with being the ICP style, but as you said, it was almost, you know, clownish, not to be ironic or, you know, to make a pun there, but it's almost clownish type horror rap, and that was never really me, whereas Brother Lynch Hung was like, no, I'm gonna break in your house, rape you, and fucking eat you. And
yeah, exactly.
that was like, oh damn. So like I remember hearing Brother Lynch Hung the first time, and it was after I heard ICP. This was many, many years ago. First heard Brother Lynch Hung in early 2000s. It was like 2002, 2001, somewhere around there. And I had already heard ICP, and when I heard Brother Lynch Hung for the first time, it just blew my mind back. I was like, holy shit, like, this dude's legit. Like, this guy just changed my whole thought on dark, wicked music. I'd heard a lot of different groups, Project Born, ICP, Twisted, Dark Lotus, all the stuff like that was going on in that time period. But whenever I heard him, I was like, I've never heard someone that has that much seriousness to him that's like, no, I'm going to do this. Like, I'm a serial killer. And it definitely struck a chord in me, at least to a certain extent, and helped mold, along with some other things that I came across years later, the sound that became Skippy Dickum.
Oh, for sure. I can definitely dig that. Like, that's, because, as I said, like, Gordy is definitely somebody that I personally love. Like, I love his music, but as far as inspiration, I wouldn't say that he was someone who I, like, brought into my style. Like,
yeah, I can dig that.
Yeah, because I can't even really think of, like, too many artists that, like, really, like, stuck with me as far as, like, what helped with my style. Well, as you'll hear in the song Say My Name, the one that for sure stuck out with me is now Stitches, rest in peace. When I first heard him, like, I had the same response as, like, how you said when you heard Brother Lynch, like, oh, this dude's unhinged. He's like a fucked up kind of guy. And so, like, that was definitely one of the artists that stuck with me, and I was just like, yes, I like that style. Something like that is what I'm aiming for. Just like that gritty, in your face, like, brutal, coming for the throat type rap.
And that's what I've always really liked to make, is that brutal, in your face type shit. That's intense. Like I said, I mix like elements of Jedi mind tricks and Ill Bill and shit like that. Vinny Paz, all that sound there, kind of with a wicked Brother Lynch Hung, Twisted Insane style. And kind of mesh the two of them together is what always kind of made my sounds hard, aggressive, dark rap.
And I'm actually glad you said Vinny Paz. Yes, him, Gmo Ski, and Joker probably are, like, the more modern ones that I would say, as far as just, like, they've got the lyricism, they've got the just kind of, like, in your face rap style. I love it.
One of my favorite in your face rappers, I have two of them right now, and I agree all three of the ones you just named are very good. I mean, Vinny Paz is one of my favorite rappers of all time, so definitely can feel that. And then G-Moski's definitely, he brings that filth aspect to it. Is some crazy bars, definitely a dope artist. And then the Joker is all around an amazing artist. His production and sound engineering is mind-blowing. But two other artists, I started to say a name in my head and they just completely vanished. Mercules and Snack the Ripper. Both are two of my favorite artists right now. I throw Chris Webby in there as well. Those three are very aggressive in a different type of way. But three of the artists that I've been listening a lot to lately, and their bars are fucking out of control.
I'll actually have to check them out because, like, I see them all the time. Like, when people bring up, like, great underground acts, but I don't think I've ever
definitely worth a listen, man. Snack the Ripper, Mercules, and Chris Webby. And it's funny because I had heard Chris Webby's name for a long time, never listened to him. And one day before I was leaving for work, I pulled up on my phone Chris Webby and I just let it play. I have a long drive to work every day and back. And I started listening to this album on the way to work, and I was like, holy fuck. Like this kid is lyrical as hell. Like he's a hell of a rapper. And then I already knew about Mercules for a very long time. He's just grown better and better over time. And then Snack the Ripper, I've known about for a little while too. But his last two albums have been just two of my favorite underground rap albums of all time. A little bit different. It's not dark really. It's just hardcore in your face hip hop. Kind of like something like Vinnie Paz, where it doesn't have so much of a dark horror element to it, but it's badass fucking rap. And that's mainly what I said. That's my stuff. I don't listen to a lot of horror rap. Surprisingly, most of the shit I listen to is like Army of the Pharaoh, Click, Vinnie Paz, Snow Goons, shit of that nature, mixed with little splices of horror here and there. And I think that's why I said it created my sound that way, because kind of I listen to 3/4 of that shit and about 1/4 of horrorcore, and that's about what my flow with a rapper or my music is.
I can dig it. I can definitely relate to it because I listen to a lot of the not the dark, but like the hard hitting stuff, and then like as far as the horror, it's pretty much the same few artists that I've got nothing but love for. So like Dark Half, Scum, Raz, Donna Rice, the people that, as far as like when it comes to horrorcore, they're the backbone of it. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I still listen to most of them, myself, everybody you just named, actually. So, always a pleasure listening and performing and working with Raz, Scum, Donna Rice, Diabolic the Monster. I mean, people that have been doing this for a while that have consistently crushed what they do. I definitely dig it. That's not my normal music that I listen to, but it's also music that I still listen to quite often. So you can't go wrong. You have to have a wide variety of different tastes, or your shit would get stagnant.
Oh, for sure. Not even with like just rap. I frequently tell people, like, as far as like my guilty pleasure with music is, I found, I don't even know what to call it, but I guess it's like electro swing band from France, and like all their lyrics are in English, so it's not like impossible to follow along. But I heard them the one day and I'm just like, wow, this is catchy. And it's like swing music with electro stylings in it. And I love it. A lot of people are just gonna, I'm sure, like, oh, but you rap about death and stuff. And it's like, yeah, but you gotta have variety with music. I mean, if I just listened to the whole murder, stab shit all the time, I think I'd blow my brains out.
Yeah, I mean, it's and that's the funny thing. It's like I said, I make some pretty intense and dark music, but I don't listen to a lot of dark music whatsoever. So it's really funny for most people to hear that. And I'm like, I like making and writing dark music, but I listen to more intense, aggressive music. I don't listen to really dark music. But you can't let your music that you make define you as a person, or even as an artist, especially as a person. People want to have an image in their mind of what they think you are by your music. Like instantly they meet you and, oh, I thought you would be this way. You thought I'd be this way just because the music I make. And it's funny because people get caught up in the music and form that that's that person. And when you listen to a Vinnie Paz right off the bat, you're like, Vinnie Paz is an aggressive, badass little motherfucker. You don't fuck with him. Like you formulate a persona of an artist off of their music, and I get that, but it's funny because people, when you are the artist, you see it from a different standpoint, and people are like, oh, I thought you were going to be some crazy psycho fucking weirdo, and I'm like, oh, no, not at all, man. I'm actually a really humble, chill dude. I'm sorry that my music gave you that impression, but I get it though, because at the same time, there's artists that I've met before and had certain type of feelings that whenever I was meeting them and I met them, and they weren't anything like I thought they would be.
Oh, for sure. Like I think that's one thing a lot of people, like, especially if they're just getting into the music, need to like know is that 9 out of 10 times we're just like really chill people. I mean, the first time I ever met Raz, I never had any interaction online with any of the people, so I was just like, oh God, I'm going to this concert like 4 hours away with a bunch of people that rap about this. They're probably going to think that I'm like just like some weird kid, and we got to this hotel where everyone was staying at we checked in, and as soon as I like threw my bag down, like I heard somebody screaming from outside, and I run over to the door, and it's actually Raz, because one of the fans had brought her like a bag filled with like Disney princess stuff.
Okay.
And I just like start cracking up. I'm just like, oh my God. I'm like worried that these people are going to like behead me and like put it on YouTube, and they're, you know, they're people. Like we all, like you said, we get these personas of what people are through their music, that we forget that they're actually just regular people.
And that's the thing, is like I said, it's just funny, and it just makes me wonder, like when people listen to Ickham, what type of person they automatically create in their head, because you do it with pretty much every artist. Let's use Eminem as an example. Eminem's one of the biggest rappers of all time and on the planet. And you automatically, by listening to his music and knowing some of the stuff that's been put on the news about him over the years and some of the things he's been involved, you think you automatically know him as a person. But really, all you know is what has been shown and given to us to hear and see. We have no idea at the end of the day what he actually is like as a person. But automatically, you assume you do, because for some reason the music makes us believe that person. Now, it's different with bands, kind of ironically, because you listen to a band and I don't automatically say, I know what the bass player's life is like. But when you listen to the singer, or when you listen to the person giving you the words, for some reason the lyricist of the project, usually you think you're like, because you're listening to his inner thoughts, I guess you think you know him. And there's a big defining line, I think, between what your lyrics say and who you are.
Oh, for sure. I can definitely agree with that, because I don't even really know what to say without like beating the same dead horse I've said, but yeah.
Absolutely. Now, my next question for you is, what is the one thing that you've done that you don't regret doing, but you would never do again? So you're not sad, or you're not regretting the fact that you've done it, but you sure as hell would never do it again, but you're glad that you did do it.
This one's going to take a little bit of explaining, but
okay.
So bear with me, because it's going to sound like I'm a bad person when I first say it, but drinking and driving.
Okay.
So I did a show in Cleveland, and I had a few friends that were supposed to come, and they bailed last minute. So I ended up going alone. And, you know, I did my set, everything was fine, and I stayed around like till the end of the show, and it started off, you know, have a drink here or there, and then you lose count. And so I got in the car, I started driving home, and about halfway there, I'm just like, you know what? I shouldn't be doing this. I'm like falling asleep at the wheel. I'm going to pull in, get some sleep, and I'll call into work, tell them I'm going to be late tomorrow, and we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. And so I pulled into a gas station, turned the car off, set the keys on the passenger seat, and fell asleep. Not even 20 minutes later, I awake to 3 police officers inside the car with me. The passenger door and my driver's side door are open, and they all have flashlights on my face. Probably thinking I had OD'd. So naturally, I get arrested because while I wasn't driving, I had to have moved the car there. And after everything was said and done, I had paid $2,000 for court costs, getting out of jail, getting the car out of impound, and doing this is the part that makes me not happy. Well, I guess, yes, happy, because it definitely put a lot of things into perspective for me. But because the alternative was to go to jail for 3 days, which I couldn't call off work for 3 days, I did what is called a driver intervention course. where you go to a hotel, you're there for like 3 days, you can't leave the hotel, you go to these classes, then you go back to your room, and that's the 3 days. In the last day, we had a speaker come in for Mothers Against Drunk Driving. And she told us about how close to Christmas one year, when her kids were still little, like they had just like left a mall, and a drunk driver in a Cadillac Escalade hit their small car. When all was said and done, she had dislocated her shoulder and relocated it, but had severed the entire nerve going down her arm. Her one daughter still has PTSD attacks of it, and the other one was just too young to remember it all. And when they caught the drunk driver, like an hour later, because he had slammed into a median, the first thing he said when he got out of the car was, "I'm not drunk." And I still think about it, but at least for 2 weeks after that, the only thing I could really think about is, what if I had done something like that? So I don't drink and drive. I don't drink and get behind the wheel of a car. I don't touch it. I don't fuck with it. Nothing. Like, if I drink, I'm either sleeping in that car at the bar, or somebody else is driving. Or if I'm close enough, I'm walking home, walking to a friend's place. It doesn't matter. I'm not getting behind the wheel of a car, because the thought of being the person that ruins somebody else's life over my own dumb decision is a very haunting thought.
It is. I mean, you can change someone's life in a blink of an eye by your decisions, so you have to be careful with every decision that you make and make sure that you're making the right ones, because sometimes, unfortunately, what you might think is, just, oh, I'll be fine, can turn into a lot of things happening that you didn't plan on. So, definitely, something I firmly believe and support you on. So, good choice on that.
And
now,
so, yeah, I regret that it happened, but I'm happy with what the outcome was. But yeah, never doing it again.
No, it makes sense. I mean, you did it. You're glad you did it because it showed you something you needed to see, but you would never drive again because of what you learned from it.
Oh, for sure.
Now, it's kind of the funny question I ask everybody is, would you rather fight a beaver-sized horse, or 100 beaver-sized horses, or a horse-sized beaver?
Okay. Now, here's my question for it. Is this like impromptu, like this, like a horde of horses, or this beaver just show up out of nowhere and I gotta fuck their shit up?
Yeah, or is it's you and them across from one another. There's either 100 little beaver-sized horses pissed off and wanting to fuck you up, or there's a giant horse-sized beaver. It's you or them.
Right, but what I mean is, is it an event that I know is going to happen at a certain date, or is it just going to happen?
I'm just going to go with it's happening. You're not ready for it. You hear a noise, you turn around, and there's 100 little fucking horse-sized beavers. Or beaver-sized horses. It's so hard to say. That's why I do, because it's funny as fuck. And then you have to fight them. Like, you turn around, they're coming at you. It's game on.
I'm gonna have to go with the 100 beaver-sized horses and just waffle stomp the shit out of them.
Okay.
If I had time, though.
So we're waffle stomping is the That's the hashtag of the night, ladies and gentlemen. We always have a hashtag every single show. At least one, sometimes two, but tonight is Waffle Stomp.
Now then, if I had time, I would definitely go with the horse-sized beaver, because I would make a saddle for it. And I don't know how I would get it on my side, I don't know if I have to go chop down a tree and like bait it, but I would definitely get a saddle, and that would be my new transportation anywhere. Because no one's gonna fuck with a giant beaver.
I mean, I agree. I mean, you definitely, I don't think would have much in the form of people standing against you.
I just think it would be great to like roll up to work, just like park outside of a Walgreens with my beaver, and it would also work as like a anti-theft deterrent because, you know, all I have to do is go like, Whiskers, get him, and just, you know, watch this beaver eat somebody.
So we've officially named the imaginary beaver horse Whiskers.
Oh, for sure.
I like it. Now, what do you feed Whiskers?
Oh, see, that's the thing. Is like I don't know if I'd have to cut down a tree to feed it, or if I'd have to like, because that would be like a lot of fruit and stuff.
Listen. Here's a fucked up question, and I gotta be honest with you. I don't know, and now it's kind of my mind's boggled. What exactly do beavers eat? Now, everybody wants to say wood, but beavers chew wood. They make dams, but I don't believe that beavers eat wood. I don't believe that's their source of food. So what the fuck does a beaver eat? If you know what a beaver eats, ladies and gentlemen, you please leave us a comment right now and let us know. And if you are listening, please trend the hashtag Waffle Stomp and share that with the show tonight. Now, it brings us to another question that you kind of alluded to in a comment to me after the last show. Is I always ask that question. There's a couple questions that I always bring up just because I like them and I like to hear the answers to it. And this one would be if animals were to rise up against the human race and were to try to take over, all individually, you know, doing their own thing to try to take over the world, which would be the ultimate ruler of the animal kingdom and why?
I'm glad you brought that up because I remembered it as soon as you said it. Without a doubt, octopus.
No, why? Why do we believe the octopus would be the ultimate ruler? Are
All
you
right.
going with the fact that it's in the water and nothing else can get to it, or what's your motive?
Well, the thing is that octopus can survive on land for like brief periods of time. Like it's like I don't know exactly how long, but there was an incident, and I don't remember exactly when it happened, but I guarantee you, if you look it up, you could find it. But at an aquarium, some of the fish started to go missing, and so they installed like security cameras, or they were watching it or something. And every night, the octopus had learned the security guard's like routine schedule, and would climb out of its tank into another fish tank, eat the fish, and then go back to its tank before the security guard had like noticed that it was missing. So they're smart. And I feel like if they just like worked in groups, they could easily take over like Hawaii, Madagascar, possibly even Australia.
That is a good point. I mean, there is possibilities behind that, and I've also seen videos of octopus sliding under doors and cracks that are only a half an inch wide. They're able to actually smush their body down to that small, and then they like slide under the door, and then they expand again, and they literally slide their entire large body in a fraction of the size of their body. It's very impressive. I watched a video. I have seen a lot about animals, but it was one of the things that when I did see it kind of blew me away, that I watched this full-grown octopus slide under a door crease. And who the hell would have known?
Right? And like now one of my fears, because I didn't know they did that, is that like they are going to take over and they're going to learn how to use like, you know, little pointy sticks, and they're just going to start climbing through people's bathrooms and stabbing us in the buttholes, man.
It's a very good possibility. Protect your buttholes, folks, from octopus spears.
Of course.
That's the only logical choice.
That is like survival rule number 1.
You know, so have you ever seen, and then after this we're going to jump into a quick song of yours, and then we'll wrap up here for the night. Your buddy Adam Hogue, is it Hogue?
Oh, I'm sorry?
Is it your friend Adam Hogue that's on here? Looks like
Adam Huff.
H-O-U-G-E.
Yes.
Or H-O-U-G-H, excuse me. He said, gotta go to work, bro. Sorry I couldn't stick around to the end of it. So much love to Adam for coming in and chatting with us tonight on the chat system and being a part of the show. Have you ever seen the special about mermaids?
I don't believe I have.
You either should or shouldn't do it. And when I say that, the part of me says you should because it'll blow your mind, and the part of me says you shouldn't because I don't know if one should ever know such things. There was a special done a few years back, documentary about the existence of actual mermaids. And it sounds ridiculous. But I will tell you that it blew my fucking mind. If you get a chance, anyone out there listening, find the special on the mermaids. They have pulled out many great white sharks over the years that have had big markings in them or spears in them. They've actually got a couple of these spears where they were coral reef spears carved completely from coral reef with like notches and decorations carved into the handles of these spears. They were sticking out of sharks and fish that they brought in out of the ocean that obviously weren't regular man-made. There have been sightings, there's been pictures, and there's been them caught on sonar underground or underwater of mermaids. And if you haven't seen it, you really should. It's an I think outside the box type of thing, and that's definitely something that I am about. In fact, with that being said, my guest of one of my most recent shows, Daniel James, a very good actor and producer, videographer out there. Me and him will be starting a separate podcast show that will be airing once a month. We will give you more news to that as it comes along. Be looking forward to that. It is going to be strictly about the occult, bizarre oddities that live out there, such as ghosts and goblins, ghouls, everything paranormal and out of the box we will be talking about with our show. More will be released on that soon. And we'll be bringing you that once a month, every month. So, but no, getting kind of off track there for a moment. What were we just talking about?
Mermaids, which...
Oh, the mermaids, excuse me, thank you. You should definitely look into it because it's very crazy. So you're talking about the octopus thing and them taking over. Maybe we're thinking too narrow or not thinking about the fact that there's mermaids out there.
Well, all I know for sure is that you have definitely given me more reasons just not to go near Poseidon's playground. Fuck the ocean.
Yeah, the ocean's a tricky thing, man. I mean, what we don't understand is there's always new species of whales, dolphins, fish, coral reef, all kinds of different things that are being discovered that we didn't know existed before. And the ocean is so deep in areas that we can't even explore it, where the giant squid are and everything else. It goes miles and miles down in water. And think of all the creatures that live in that. We don't know but just a fraction of what's in that ocean.
That is, it's still just a crazy thought to just think about like how big, like the Earth and basically anything is, and like just it really puts you into like perspective of.
It really does. I mean, think about it. Everybody wants to talk about the space. Like, look, I wonder how big space is out there and all the planets. Think how big the ocean is around you.
Yeah, that's honestly
As
one
above,
of the things.
so below.
Exactly, it's almost like an infinite abyss, and we don't know what's down there. As you said, it's something
Well, the
that
thing is, do we even know it really ends? They tell us that it does, but so if space goes on and on and on, there's planets and planets. How do we know that if you jump into that water in the middle of the ocean and you swim down, it just doesn't keep going and going?
You know what, you're right, because like they're really like, yes, we can go ahead and argue that science is this, but there are things that science can't even explain. Like, why is the honeybee able to fly? If we based everything off of gravity as we know it, the honeybee should not be able to fly. And yet it still does.
Yes, some things are beyond our knowledge and beyond what we should know, honestly.
So it's just a crazy thought. So to hear that, like, the ocean is finite, well, you don't know. There are things that are beyond our understanding.
I agree 100%. I agree. Well, I think it's probably a good time for us to jump into your song here before we get too distracted and go elsewhere. We're going to play the song Say My Name from artist SKX from Ohio, underground hip-hop artist. Why don't you give us a little bit of a shout-out into this song, and we'll go ahead and get into it.
You know what? I really wish I could give you, like, a real good, like, definition as to, or reason why I wrote this song, but pretty much all it was is that I stopped writing music for a little bit. Just like I didn't have a motivation, and I said, you know what, fuck it, I got to come out with something. Like, I got to make a song, do something. And so I started searching around for beats, and as soon as I heard this one, it was like the verse wrote itself. Well, the verse is.
Ones.
So that's all I
have to say. Absolutely. Well, let's go ahead and jump into it. Without further ado, let's play Say My Name from SKX here on Uncovering the Underground. We'll be back in just a moment.
Yo. SKX. I'm back, motherfuckers. Wicked, it's been too goddamn long. Let's give these motherfuckers something to rock.
Say my name 3 times like you're trying to summon Beetlejuice. OJ of the underground, oh yeah, now the juice is loose. I'm hanging up by a noose, checking out my screws are loose. Drinking and driving cause I'm fucking death proof. I wanna crash and burning up a walk ablaze. I'm filthy, deranged, maybe Satan's in my brain. But I never quit rapping until all I see is flames. Hit the stage of my ex bitch, make it break back and submit. I'm a freak, you really think that I give a shit when I'm beating on your dope? Trying to start a mosh pit, I really don't, and I never will. Never stop until I kill every human on this fucking planet. Even that will fill me up with satisfaction, and I mean that shit for real. Stitches was my idol, now time for his revival. As I burn the fucking Bible, toss it up in the ground. Burn the fucking venue down with myself inside. Laughing like a mammoth, cause fuck it if I die. Got a pocket full of sunshine, haha, just kidding. The fist full of cyanide. Now do you see what it's like inside my filthy fucking mind?
No, you're done. I can't even be putting this shit. Fuck, dude, he's got another one.
Sick to the point that I need to be locked away in a cage, no one around under heavy locks and chains at the bottom of the ocean, so I can't cause any pain. My genetics are a mistake that God shouldn't have made. I'll smoke and drink and cause mayhem whenever I'm on stage. When you look me in the face, you'll see all of my hate. Is it that great that I'm losing myself to the monster that I made? I'll never be a human in the eyes of society. I'm the boogeyman that dwells inside your psyche, living in the muck with thorns and poison ivy. My heart is so icy, I've tried asking nicely. Now say my fucking name before I feed you to the Pisces. Fuck it, I'll jump your body with a fucking steamroll. It feels like a boulder that's on top of my shoulders, maybe the top of my chest. Fuck it, just not like the rest.
And we're back on Uncovering the Underground. That was Say My Name from SKX. So we're getting ready to finish up the episode tonight, but before we do, I did want to say that you can catch us back here in 2 weeks. That is on May 16th. As I said, that'll be with artist Name Withheld from Ohio as well. And then you can catch us back again the following 2 weeks later, May 30th, that we will be filling in with a different name. I don't know as of right now because we had to switch the schedule around a little bit. Followed by June 13th with Nasty Inc., June 20th with Jade the Nightmare, June 27th with Dawn Arise. We have a lot of fun shows coming up. Check those and all of our past episodes out through Spreaker Podcast Radio app or through the website. Share them around, as I said earlier. Make sure you check out all SKX's music and links and give him a love, share, a like, everything that the site has you do. Please go ahead and follow him. It means a lot to him. As we had mentioned earlier in the show, he can tell you here in a moment the different sites that you can check him out on: SoundCloud, Reverb Nation, Facebook, all of that fun stuff. Check out www.teambrutalbusiness.com and www.tattooedscumbag.com, and you'll get some great apparel and be able to find out all of the upcoming news and music and videos from artists from Brutal Business, including, like I said, the 9-Stitch Method track dropping tomorrow exclusively on our website, so don't miss out on it. Other than that, I'm glad you guys tuned in tonight and listened to us. Before we go for the evening, SKX, why don't you go ahead and give your shout-outs to anybody you'd like to give a shout-out to. Let us know where we can check your stuff out at, and then we'll go ahead and wrap this up for the night.
All right, yeah, that's no problem, homie. I'd love to give a shout-out to my homies, Wicked, Dirty Dirt of the Grimy Ones. You know I got mad love for you. My brother, Name Withheld, you already know. He's going to be on the show next week. Check him out. Also wanted to give a shout out to the homie Robert Clark in Indiana for putting me on that show. King Torch, Nasty for Nasty Bash. You know I love you guys. And I didn't really get to say it, so I forgot. Be sure to watch out for me. I'll probably be in your neck of the woods sometime in September or August. I can't tell you who I'm going to be with, but we got a tour coming up. Check that shit out when it drops.
That's awesome. That's great news. Make sure you're checking it out, people. Give him a like I said, and give him a follow. When it comes to your neighborhood, go see him. Support underground music, as you are what keeps us going, as I said earlier. And real quick, why don't you tell us where we can check you out at? I already mentioned SoundCloud and Reverb Nation, but anywhere else we can check you out at?
Oh, right now that seems to be all the places. So hopefully before the tour in September, I will be dropping my mixtape, Mind of a Million Maniacs. You can check it out. You'll hear Wicked of the Grimy Ones. You'll hear Name Withheld on it. You'll hear one of the artists of Too Wicked from Pittsburgh. You'll also hear Cadaver and Don Arias on there. Just make sure to check it out. Hopefully there will be some dope shit with it. And I think that's all I got to say.
Absolutely. Check it out. Mind of a Million Maniacs. I love it. That's a great title. Sounds like there's some great artists and features on there. Make sure you pick it up when it drops. Do want to thank you for being on the show once again, my man. We'll definitely have you back down the road. And like I said, check us out in 2 weeks whenever we come back with Name Withheld. Appreciate you guys showing us some love tonight. Hit the share button, give us a like, and tell your friends. We love you, and we'll catch you next time on Uncovering the Underground Radio Podcast Show. Have a good night.